Some mornings feel heavy before they even begin. You open your eyes and your heart already feels tired. You check your phone. No new messages, no new answers, just the same silence. You whisper a prayer that sounds more like a sigh. God, are you still here? Life looks frozen. Dreams feel far. Hope feels tired. And a quiet fear says, nothing is changing. But what if something is changing? Just where you cannot see it yet. He walks outside because staying inside feels too loud. The street is quiet, like it is holding its breath. His footsteps sound heavier than they should. Every step feels like a question with no answer. He looks at the houses, the cars, the sky, and thinks, everyone else is moving forward. Why am I still here? He remembers the prayers he prayed last year. He remembers the tears, the promises, the faith he tried so hard to hold. He stops near a quiet corner and leans against a wall. Tired of pretending he is okay, he says quietly, God, I did everything I knew how to do. I waited, I trusted, I believed. So why does my life still look the same? The wind moves softly, but nothing answers him. He thinks about the dreams he once had, the life he imagined, the joy he hoped for, the change he prayed would come. Now those dreams feel like pictures from another life. He closes his eyes and feels something heavy in his chest. Not anger, not hate, just tired faith. Tired of hoping. Tired of waiting. Tired of being strong. He whispers, maybe I'm not chosen. Maybe I'm just forgotten. He opens his eyes and sees the sun slowly rising between the buildings. The light is gentle, not loud. It does not rush. It just shows up, quietly. And something in his heart feels that same quiet. Not happiness. Not answers. Just a small reminder. He is still here. He breathes in slowly and says, God, if you are working, I can't see it. But I don't want to stop believing. He thinks about seeds in the ground. How they sit in darkness, looking dead, looking forgotten. But underground, roots are growing where no one is watching. He wonders, what if my life is like that right now? What if nothing looks different because the real work is happening where eyes cannot see? He stands up straight and starts walking again, not with joy, not with excitement, but with a small decision. I will walk, even if I don't understand. And in that quiet walk, something unseen is already moving. He reaches a small rooftop where he used to come when life felt lighter. The city looks the same, but he does not. He rests his arms on the railing and lets the wind touch his face. It feels like the only thing that still remembers him. He says quietly, God, I don't need big miracles. I just need to know you see me. He thinks about all the days he smiled when he was breaking inside, all the nights he prayed until his words ran out, all the times he said, I trust you, even when his heart was shaking. He closes his eyes and remembers how faith used to feel simple, like a child holding a father's hand without asking where they were going. Now faith feels heavy, like walking in fog with no map. He opens his eyes and sees a bird land on the edge of the roof, small and calm, not afraid of the height. He thinks that bird is not worried about tomorrow. It just lives in today. And for a moment, he wonders what it would feel like to breathe like that again. He sits down on the rooftop floor, back against the wall, and lets his tired thoughts speak. God, I don't know how to be strong anymore. I don't know how to pretend I'm okay. I don't even know how to pray the right way. He feels something warm slide down his cheek before he can stop it. He does not wipe it fast. He lets it be seen, at least by God. And in that quiet crying, something strange happens. Not a voice, not a vision. Just a deep feeling that says, you are not weak for feeling this. You are human. He breathes in slowly. Then again, he says, "If you are shaping me in this waiting, please don't let me become hard." The sky starts to change color, soft gold mixing with gentle blue. He realizes something important. Maybe God is not rushing because God is not wasting this season. Maybe this slow time is not punishment. Maybe it is preparation. And even if he cannot see the full picture yet, he decides one thing. He will not quit in the middle of God's quiet work. He walks down from the rooftop and lets the city carry him. Cars pass, people move, life keeps going like it never noticed his pain. He thinks, if God is working, why do I still feel so empty? He passes a small park and sits on a bench that has seen many lonely people before him. He looks at his hands and remembers all the times he tried to change, tried to grow, tried to believe harder. He whispers, "God, I'm tired of trying to be enough." A memory comes to him, not loud, not clear, just a feeling, like being carried when he was too young to walk. He realizes something. He has been trying to carry himself through a season that was never meant to be carried alone. He leans back and closes his eyes. "God, I don't want to control this anymore. I don't want to force doors. I don't want to pretend I'm strong." A soft breeze moves through the trees and touches his face. He breathes in slowly and says, "I give you what I don't understand." Not his whole life. Not his whole future. Just today. Just this moment. Just this tired heart. He opens his eyes and sees a child running across the grass, laughing without fear, falling, and getting back up without shame. He thinks, that child is not worried about how they look when they fall. They just trust they will rise again. And something in him breaks, not in pain, but in release. He lets his shoulders drop. He lets his guard fall. "God," he says, "teach me how to trust like that again." He realizes trust is not loud. It is not perfect. It is not fearless. Trust is choosing to lean, even when you feel weak. Trust is walking when you don't see the road. Trust is staying when leaving feels easier. The sun starts to lower, painting the world in soft gold. He stands up slowly and says one simple thing. "God, I don't need to see everything. I just need to know I'm not walking alone." And for the first time in a long while, he does not feel fixed, but he feels held. He walks away from the park, not with answers, but with quiet courage growing inside him. Night comes softly, not like a storm, but like a blanket. He walks home under streetlights that glow like quiet watchers. He thinks about how many times he asked God to change his situation, but never asked God to change him. He opens his door and steps into a small, quiet room. The kind of room that hears many prayers and keeps many secrets. He drops his jacket on a chair and sits on the edge of his bed, hands resting in his lap. "God," he says softly, "I don't know where this road is going, but I don't want to walk it angry." He remembers moments when pain made him hard, when waiting made him cold, when silence made him doubt love. He realizes something deep. God may not be changing his life yet because God is protecting his heart first. Because a broken life can still be used. But a broken heart that turns bitter is hard to heal. He stands up and looks at himself in a small mirror. Not with hate, not with pride, but with honesty. He says, "God, if you are making me wait, then make me kind while I wait. Make me gentle. Make me real." He sits back down and closes his eyes. Not to escape, not to hide, but to listen. He listens to his breathing. He listens to his heart. He listens for peace. And slowly, not suddenly, peace comes not as answers, but as rest. He understands something. Waiting is not empty time. Waiting is training time. Training to love when it is hard. Training to trust when it is quiet. Training to stay soft in a hard world. He lies back on his bed and stares at the ceiling. But this time his thoughts are not racing. They are resting. He whispers, "Even if nothing changes tomorrow, I don't want to lose who I am becoming." Outside, the moon rises quietly, doing its work without noise. He thinks God works like that too, quiet, steady, unseen. And for the first time, waiting does not feel like punishment. It feels like preparation. Morning comes again, soft and calm, and he wakes up with the weight of yesterday still in his chest, but lighter somehow. He sits by the window, looking at the world outside, noticing details he had missed before. The way light hits the leaves, the gentle sway of branches, the quiet rhythm of life moving forward, even when he feels still. He whispers, "God, I don't see the change yet, but I trust you are working." He remembers the rooftop, the park, the quiet nights, and sees a pattern. Each small moment was shaping him, teaching him patience, humility, and quiet courage. He stands, stretches, and steps outside. Each movement feels lighter, more intentional. He walks through the street, noticing again the people, the world, and himself. Not in comparison, not in judgment, but with awareness that life is happening. God's work happening, beneath the surface. He smiles faintly at a passerby, a small gesture of connection he would have missed before. He thinks, faith is not only in seeing miracles, faith is in walking through the invisible work and letting it change me. He stops near a small tree, watching its branches sway in the wind. A small bird lands nearby, as if repeating the lesson from yesterday. Life moves, grows, and rests in ways unseen. He takes a deep breath and says quietly, "God, I may not see everything, but I will keep trusting. I will keep walking. I will keep believing that you are moving in ways I cannot see." He realizes that change does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it grows slowly, like roots beneath soil, unseen but strong. He walks on, not fully knowing the path, but knowing he is not alone. His heart feels a little braver, a little lighter, ready to continue the journey. And in that silent, steady movement, he understands. God is always working, even when nothing seems to change. He pauses for a moment, letting the morning sun touch his face. A quiet smile forms, not because everything is perfect, but because he finally feels a simple truth. God is at work, even when he cannot see it. He whispers to himself, "I may not understand the timing. I may not see the results yet, but I can trust the one who sees it all." And as he continues walking, each step feels lighter, each breath a little freer. The waiting is no longer empty. It is filled with unseen growth, quiet shaping, and steady hope. Sometimes, the greatest miracles happen beneath the surface. Sometimes, the strongest work is done in silence. And in that silent work, hearts are healed, courage is built, and faith quietly blooms. He walks on, not rushing, not forcing, simply trusting that every unseen moment is part of God's perfect plan, and that what feels still now is only preparation for what is coming next.